Welcome to beautiful Arizona.
So Arizona might be one of the driest states in the USA, but it is much more than just a desert. Everywhere you turn, there's epic, mind-blowing scenery and crazy landscapes to take in. It even has its own wine country. Cheers.
And since Route 66 runs right through the state, there are unique adventures and quirky little stops.
Like this town that is completely overrun with donkeys.
Arizona is a state that we have visited a few times before, but we haven't really gotten off the beaten path. It's mostly been the Grand Canyon and Phoenix. So today we figured we'd start from one corner of the state and make our way down to the other corner.
Ultimately, we are going to make our way back out to Texas, and that is because it's kind of random, but we bought tickets to a concert a long time ago, and we have to get back for it.
No, it's one of those 20th anniversary shows. Have you guys noticed that everyone's kind of doing a 20th anniversary show this year? Also, that means that we're old enough to go to 20th anniversary shows.
But as usual, we are going to try to squeeze in as much as we can on the way.
Yeah, let's go.
What was that?
I'm blasting off.
Well, we did start with that epic drone shot. That was kind of like a blast off. So that's something. All right, whatever, let's go. Well, y'all, Arizona never disappoints. We are just starting our road trip and already the views are just incredible, spectacular, all the adjectives.
You don't even need to go to the Grand Canyon. Just drive through the freaking state and there are amazing canyon views everywhere.
Yeah, we're starting our journey kind of in the northwestern-ish corner of Arizona. And this morning we took ourselves a little ride on Route 66. If you're not familiar with that route, that would be insane if you weren't. It started in Chicago and made its way all the way out to Los Angeles. In its heyday, it represented like the iconic American road trip, but the route is not what it once was.
No, there are fragments of it left, but a lot of it was rerouted around mountain areas like this, and then they built the interstate, so you can still find fragments of it, and it's very much worth it if you do.
Because it often leads you to really quirky stops and hidden gems, which is what we're headed to. Just beyond this epic mountain path is the town of Oatman.
But it is not men of oats we are after. It is something that likes oats a lot.
Excellent setup.
Yeah.
The question is, can we even get there? Because we keep stopping every 2 seconds because there's these incredible viewpoints. This one has like memorials all over the place. So there's like crosses and jewelry and all kinds of stuff.
But it is almost noon and there is something very special that takes place at high noon in this town. So we gotta get.
Imagine I got two little guns here.
I was too fast. He didn't even see it coming.
All right, let's go.
We have officially made it to the little mining town of Oatman. We will tell you more about it in just a second, but right now it is high noon and they are about to have a good old-fashioned shootout.
Quit shooting!
That was a lot more wild than I thought. There's a lot more shooting going on. I thought there was going to be one at the end, but they shot the whole way through.
Yeah, they have blanks in them, so they sound like a real gun.
Yeah,
it's very loud.
Very loud. And I love that the donkeys do not care at all.
Well, now that the score has been settled from that old bank robbery, this is the town of Oatman. So a long time ago, they ended up finding gold in them there hills, and thus the gold rush began. And this town was bustling, and then eventually, as you know, the gold rush went bust, and this town could have died, but Route 66 ended up running right through the town, so it became like a quintessential kitschy roadside stop. But what makes this town really special is that it is completely overrun with burros, which are basically wild donkeys. The reason for that is that this was a mining town, and the burros would help them, I guess, carry stuff in and out of the mines, and they did a bunch of work around the town. And then when the gold rush was over, they just set them free in the surrounding hills. So now they live here and they get fed very well, and I think they're living their best life. This one is so cute.
This one's so sweet.
Some of them will let you pet them. Nice ass. Ooh.
What, this whole thing?
Yeah, did you think I was talking about him? These guys are so scary. This one will snatch your stuff.
He was just in a fight with a guy over soap, apparently.
I'm about to have a good old-fashioned Wild West shootout of my own. 60 seconds, here we go. Woohoo! Squirted me! Something squirted me.
I think it was that rattler in there.
That was funny. So as you've probably noticed, this town is very touristic. It's just lined with all these shops that have little knickknacks and all the kitschy stuff you would expect to find. But it is 100% worth a stop, obviously, to see the burros, to see the gunfight.
Yes. And of course, the road in is just pretty spectacular. This is apparently Shaffer Springs. We were just driving by and someone was parked on the side of the road. So we pulled up our maps and it told us this was here. So it looks like some man-made little spring. I don't know if people used to use it back in the day for the donkeys or themselves.
Yeah, I wouldn't get in it now. It looks a little murky, but it's very beautiful. Like, look at this backdrop, you guys. Holy cow.
It's our first day in Arizona. It's just like, what is this?
Yeah.
It's wild.
We are back on Route 66. You guys, I can't help but fantasize about what it would have been like to drive this route properly in the 60s. How amazing would that have been?
It's a big old Cadillac without AC, the top down. I'd have my fancy scarf on.
Yeah, no seatbelts on. I'd probably have a beer. You'd probably have a beer.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Anything went back then.
It was the 60s, man. But we are on our way back to our RV park because that is where Clementine is. We need to hook back up and continue because we are still, sadly, under a time crunch. We're still going to squeeze in as much as we possibly can.
I'm not going to whine about it.
Oh, is that a little precursor to what's coming next?
Yeah.
Haha, good one. We found ourselves a little coffee shop to chill at. We've just been hanging out trying to get a little bit of laptop time in before we continue our Arizona road trip. You'll know that we join public Wi-Fi networks all over the world, but we don't take any chances, so we always make sure to turn on our Surfshark VPN to make sure our connection is protected. Whoa, this VPN really works. I feel safer already. Dun-dum, 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 doo-doo-doo. But as you guys have probably guessed, we are partnering with Surfshark on this road trip. Browsing the internet is a bit of a nightmare these days. Every site has trackers and annoying pop-ups, but Surfshark blocks all that BS with one button.
Or maybe you're traveling internationally like we often do, and it's Shark Week, but you're getting that dang not available in your region message. We'll pop on Surfshark and you'll be swimming with the fishes in no time. Oh shoot, boy, get him, eat him!
Sometimes you can even find cheaper prices on plane tickets just by turning on the VPN before you search for your flights.
So just remember, kids, the only way to fight online pirates is with a surfing shark.
Was I supposed to get a surfboard too? Surfshark hooked us up with a special discount link for y'all. It is surfshark.com/theendless. You can use that link to get an extra 4 months of Surfshark, and you can try today risk-free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. That looks like the shark is crunching your face.
All right, I think that is enough of that. Back to our road trip. So we got our fill of gold yesterday and we moved on to copper. Today we have come into the hills just south and west of Sedona into the town of Jerome, which was a copper mining town. As you guys know, if you watched our Bisbee video, copper sales really plummeted after World War II, and basically every city that was mining them died. And this one is no exception. In fact, it became a ghost town, but not just any ghost town. It became the largest ghost town in all of the US.
Now you might have noticed that this doesn't really look like a ghost town. That's because the town ended up kind of thriving after its boom and bust days of the copper mining, but there still is a ghost town over that way.
They've really embraced the ghost town vibe.
Yes, everything is a play on the whole ghost theme.
Yes, but now, of course, it's just a bunch of cool galleries, little knick-knack shops, some delicious restaurants, and a very special little coffee shop located just down over there. This serves a very special kind of espresso, and that is what we need first to give us courage to fight the ghosts.
And the shop is really cool. It's just down this unsuspecting little alleyway that's floating on the side of this building.
How's it going?
Good, how are you doing?
Good, how you doing?
So this is the pulled espresso, y'all. That was such a cool thing to watch him do. It's a machine that I guess has a little compartment up top that heats the water and continuously keeps it warm, and then he hand presses it through the espresso puck.
And apparently he just uses body weight to push it down.
And then it makes delicious espresso without a big fancy crazy machine. My God, that is so delicious. It's a really like a little chocolatey, a little velvety. It's very full.
I already tasted it, so I already knew it was really good.
Yeah.
My nose is still a little stopped up, but I'm at about 80% taste, I
But
think.
he could still taste the deliciousness even through all this nastiness.
All right.
Who would have thought in this tiny town we'd find some completely new way to get coffee?
Also, come on, look at this view, you guys. This is amazing.
Arizona, man. It just doesn't stop.
I have to keep adjusting the exposure
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's like, do we want to see this or do we want to see your beautiful face?
Nah, just focus on that.
Okay.
That's prettier.
So back in the early 1900s, Jerome had kind of a bad reputation. Apparently a few newspapers printed that they were the wickedest town in the West, and that stuck because I guess it was a pretty wild place.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of debauchery going on.
In fact, this little plaque tells you all about it. Jerome was a lawless town of wild women and hard-drinking men, a place where bordellos, saloons, and dance halls lined the streets, and wages were wasted in wicked pursuits. This is unlike any of the other ghost towns we visited. Usually they're very sparse with just a few buildings scattered about. This one actually has a bunch of buildings all over the place. A lot of them are replicas, but a lot of them are the authentic buildings from the original town.
Yeah, and a few of them are from nearby towns that they've moved here, but they are replicas of buildings that would have been here. There's a lot to take in though, my gosh.
Yeah, it's basically like a junkyard. There's just all kinds of parts and vehicles and everything just spanning the eras. But what's really cool is they have little plaques on a lot of this stuff, so you can kind of learn about it. You guys, they have adorable little goats here. And yes, you can feed them. Hey, buddy. He really wants to eat my camera.
Maybe he just wants to be a star.
Check out this chainsaw, y'all. Holy cow, this is real. Can you imagine trying to operate this thing? I guess it's powered over there. One guy holds that, and then someone holds this. Oh my God.
And then you both sever your arms and
Yeah.
you never use it again.
That's why a lot of the little skeletons they have around town are missing limbs. This here is the Ring of Fire, and it is built from confiscated firearms from, I think, West Virginia. How much death has come from these firearms?
Well,
That's kind of creepy to think
a
about.
lot less than there would have been since they've been
Yeah,
confiscated.
I guess so.
We have officially arrived to Arizona wine country. And boy oh boy was that drive-in beautiful. It felt like we were going back to Tuscany. I don't know what these tall skinny trees are. They're very Tuscan. And I imagine pretty soon here these vines will have very green, what do you call them? Grapes?
Grapes?
Very green.
Maybe it's a ghost vineyard.
Ooh, well then don't worry you guys. I have come here to clear it of all its spirits. Put it right in my belly.
You know, I actually said that a minute ago and she didn't have any joke for it, and then that's what she came up with. That was pretty good.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like a priest or something. I'm here to bless the land.
All right, quit while you're ahead.
Okay. this is just lovely. We're smack in the middle of the vineyard. You can just wander through the vines.
I love when a vineyard lets you just have the run of the place because I love just exploring it and looking at the plants and stuff.
So this is Alcantara, and it's located in Verde Valley, and it's actually one of 3 official wine growing regions here in Arizona. Although it is the smallest in acreage, it is actually the most popular because it sits so close to Flagstaff and Phoenix and the Grand Canyon, so a lot of people come through here. If you go to Jerome, you'll notice there are tasting rooms all over there, but we wanted to be out in nature and actually in it.
And if you're traveling through in an RV, make sure you stay at this winery. They have 1,000 trails right next door, and it is just one of the more beautiful campsites in Arizona. We were gonna actually stay there so we could just like be a minute from the winery, but it was full, so book in advance. But anyways, we went with the bold red flight. So you're supposed to dump it into here. You grab the glass, you put your pinky up, and then you take a sip.
No, you give it a swirl.
Oh yeah, swirl.
See those legs?
I would sniff it, but my nose is all stuffed.
Sniffer's broken. I'm getting hints of grapes.
You can only make that joke 100 times in your life, you know.
I don't know anything about wine, except that I enjoy drinking it.
Okay, cheers. Well, we saw this adorable orange cat that was very uninterested in us, and then Allison found this little fur ball.
The grumpiest, hairiest cat in the world.
And he's been rolling around, so he's so dirty.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you're a sweetie.
He's just yelling at us. We have come to the town of Tombstone, and there's about to be a shootout at the OK Corral. But this time, I'm your huckleberry.
All right, calm down, Wyatt Earp. I mean, should I say Doc Holliday? But seriously, we haven't had enough gunfights here in Arizona, so we're gonna squeeze in one last one, the most famous one in the world, at the OK Corral.
Put up your hands, boys. We're here for those guns. Wait! I don't want that. Come on, get him!
So that was the famous shootout at the OK Corral, made famous by Wyatt Earp himself, of course, but the movie Tombstone, which takes place in this town.
Which you for sure should watch if you have not.
One of our favorite movies of all time, Kurt Russell, man.
He's good. Oh, I lost my gun.
You lost your
guys,
gun? That's a party foul.
This is a child's gun, and I can barely get this strap to fit around me.
She tried to put the gun up, and I was like, keep the gun. It's just too cute.
It's too cool.
But Tombstone is a place you have to stop in because it is just stuck in time. They have this dirt street that runs right through the old town, all these old Wild West storefronts, all this kitschy, like Wyatt Earp themed stuff.
Yeah, I feel like all these little towns we've stopped in have been building up to this one.
They have a real stagecoach that's riding through town. It's amazing.
It's crazy, and almost like half the people here are dressed up as old cowboys. There's like a whole band playing over there. There's saloons out the wazoo.
Man, I wish we weren't in such a hurry because there's all kinds of legit saloons here in Tombstone. This is actually an original building that was the Grand Hotel, but now it is a local watering hole that looks like it's plucked straight out of 1880. I'm so jealous that we can't like stay here for a night. But we got a concert to get to, you guys. We gotta go.
Oh man, you guys, that was a lot of fun. We are very tempted to just stay and have one too many beers in a saloon and just stumble into a hotel. That would be just so much fun. But there's actually this really cool off-grid campsite just a little bit north of here that we've been dying to stop at. We tried to do it last time we drove through Arizona. It didn't work out.
I guess we'll do that instead.
I guess we will, but I think we're gonna do that in the next video. So I guess that is it for this road trip. Man, all these tiny towns have been a hoot, and the views have been incredible. Oh my gosh, all the little drives.
I love that Arizona, you can just drive in any direction, you'll find something goofy to do, or at least some incredible nature, for sure.
Yeah, and something historic for us from the 1800s.
Yeah.
And really cool. All right, and with that, get on out of here. I don't want to see your face again. By that I mean goodbye, adventures.
We'll see you on the road.